Coming up on Math News Monthly, we've got a look at the Southside Ames Assembly.
Students in music group around campus have adapted to virtual all-region clinics. We've got more on this, plus
Basketball homecoming also took place this month. We document the hard work students put into bringing this event to life.
finally, we wrap things up with a campus reflection on Black History Month.
We've got all of this, plus a little more, on this edition of Mav News Monthly. Hello, Southside. Welcome back to Mav News Monthly, your monthly dose of all things Maverick. I'm Jacob Weaver.
And I'm Emily Fincher. It's really great to be back this month. I've missed getting back into the swing of things, and I'm very glad to be doing the broadcast again.
I am too. Speaking of getting back into the swing of things, several Southside students had their hard work and dedication to their academics recognized at the annual Ames Assembly. For more on this, here's Leen Samman.
Southside High School has always taken pride in the fact that academics on campus are just as important as other extracurricular activities and sports. In celebration of this accomplishment, Southside has created the Ames Assembly, which definitely felt a little different this year due to the large number of students qualifying. Typically, the Ames Assembly is held during the first semester, but due to hopes of lighter COVID restrictions, the administration felt it necessary to push it back to the second semester.
Normally we try to do it at the beginning of the year, and we really had pushed it back because we had great hopes of loosening of requirements and being able to do everybody together. But we had kind of come to the realization that we really needed to go ahead and move forward. We were hoping to have everybody and be able to have some parents here, but we thought it was a beautiful assembly, even though it maybe wasn't what we were used to.
Although the Ames Assembly was allowed to happen this year, there still had to be some compromises with COVID restrictions. Dr. Miller, however, remained optimistic, calling the issue a wonderful problem to have.
We went into the auditorium to determine what our capacity would be. So we skipped a row between every student and we measured what 6 feet would be to make sure that, so we skipped 2 seats between every student to make sure that we kept our capacity under 100. We wanted to make sure we had less than 100 people in there and that everyone was spaced out. We also kept a seating chart and we assigned seats so that if anyone needed to be contact traced, we knew exactly where they were located. In addition, we didn't pass out medals or certificates or any of that kind of stuff hand to hand. We put them in a folder so that we were hoping that would help as well. We were real cautious as to how we brought students in. We called them in by alpha, and we were careful about how we put them out so that we never had an opportunity where we had a group of students that were really clumped together.
Several FSPS board members, as well as guest speaker Dr. David Hutton, spoke their appreciation for the students' hard work.
He couldn't say enough good things about how we've done that. Students have been able to work virtually, but they've still maintained their high level of achievement, right? Given the circumstances that we found ourselves in, to have 72% of our scores to be qualifying scores, he said that, they were really examples of resilience in a difficult time and a great time of change.
Big or small, the assembly really means a lot to the students, as it adds an extra incentive to stay motivated when AP season comes around.
Compared to last year's, this one was definitely a bit underwhelming, just because COVID, obviously, and that's fine. It's understandable. But it was just a bit less, I guess, hyped than usual. Can't have everyone in the gym because, obviously there isn't even a gym anymore. Usually, kind of everywhere you go, the stereotype is that sports are more incentivized by the school staff, but at Southside, it more or less feels like every skill there is valued pretty equally.
In all, Dr. Miller was glad that we were able to have an Ames Assembly at all this year, because she, with the rest of Southside staff, believe academic accomplishments should not go unnoticed. From Mav Media, I'm Leen Samman.
Thank you, Leen, and congratulations to all the students recognized.
In addition to impressive academic accomplishments, Southside music groups also had a pretty successful all-region season. As All-State is wrapping up and these groups are turning focus onto contest season, here's Bianca Perlera with a recap.
This semester, traditional winter concerts and all-region auditions were replaced with microphones and cameras as our music groups went virtual to keep students and families safe. The first organization to experience any changes was the Southside Jazz Band, who are acting as guinea pigs of sorts. Despite being the first group of host virtual auditions, the band still had 13 members make all-region, and 8 of those students qualifiers for all-state. After jazz auditions, students and directors felt like they had a solid understanding of the virtual tryout process when getting the rest of the band auditioned.
ASBOA sent us the cuts for our etudes and our scales a week beforehand, and our directors gave us an allotted time to audition for those. and we walked in and we recorded our audition material on a computer with a microphone, and then we sent them off for judges to be looked at from across the state.
And this year it was all virtual, so we had to do this like online program called Opus. And so we would go in and we would record ourselves and like submit it to the website. And thankfully, we actually had some really nice equipment from Mr. Burkpile.
Well, the auditions got pushed back to December this year, so I definitely feel like I got more time to practice and all.
Band, orchestra, and choir all had similar audition processes. In all, the band had 32 region qualifiers, choir had 57 region qualifiers, and orchestra had 14 region qualifiers.
Go to Southside and we just split up into various rooms and we're all spread apart.
We had a clinician who for each instrument, and they basically talked us through our all-state music.
I mean, I would totally like the best part about our region is getting to get together with some of the best players from around the region.
And it's kind of sucks not being able to meet new people at those clinics and get to participate in playing really fun tunes.
But I mean, they're trying to do something for just letting us have to do something, and which I understand, and I appreciate that.
For this year, we did have to record our concert for jazz band. We have recorded a few songs, and we're gonna upload those on our social media pages.
With all the tight restrictions and cancellations that took place, the mood is definitely bittersweet, as students and directors are still glad they were able to participate in virtual events as opposed to nothing at all. From Mav Media, I'm Bianca Perlera.
Thank you, Bianca. Working with virtual auditions must have been challenging, so great job to everyone for sticking with it.
Now here's a quick message from NHS sponsor Mr. Matthew Hominick.
Hello, Mavericks. Do you desire an opportunity to impress college admissions, or make gains in self-confidence, or take on enriching leadership roles, and develop positive working skills and attitudes? Well, if so, take advantage of this opportunity to get involved with Southside High School's Community Service Learning. CSL offers students the opportunity to serve the school and the local community, all while earning a credit toward graduation. How can you earn the Community Service Learning credit? A student who has completed a minimum of 75 hours of documented community service, along with the required reflection component in grades 9 through 12, is eligible to receive one career-focused academic credit that may be applied toward graduation. Visit the SHS Community Service Learning website for official forms and information. The webpage can be found on Southside High School's website. Go to the SHS website, click on Academics, then the Counseling Office page. Next, click on Scheduling. Finally, look for the SHS Community Service Learning link under the Social Studies tab for more information. Note the steps, the forms, and important dates. Students who complete the volunteer service requirement and turn in required documentation will receive the Community Service Learning credit on your official transcript and a certificate of completion. If you have further questions, contact Mr. Hominick at my email address, mhominick@fortsmithschools.org, or visit me in room 256. Seize your opportunity to earn the Community Service Learning credit and lead by serving others.
And now it's time for your Southside Bulletin. As we move away from our week of snow, this weekend looks like we'll be getting some showers. Today we have a high of 53 and a low of 41, with the weekend holding up with the highs in the lower 60s and lowers in the mid 50s. Look out for some storms Saturday afternoon, followed by some showers. Seniors, be sure to fill out the senior activity form to give your opinion on the 2021 graduation and prom. Look at Schoology for the link. Additionally, check out all links in the description for the list of seniors on the honors list and all of those students with all A's. Lastly, be sure to keep an eye on the senior info page. Scan the link now or look in the description. Missed the Ames Assembly recordings? No worries. Check out the links in the description for the recorded events. Soccer season has just started. To keep up to date on our Mavericks as they head into their matches, follow them on Instagram at SouthsideMavSoccer and at LadyMavSoccer. Are you a club member or advisor who would like to include updates on our broadcast, or simply have a news story that you feel merits coverage? Check out our Mav Media tip line to submit any potential stories or updates that you may have. Links are available in the description, as well as on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages at Mav Media. To keep up to date on everything around campus, be sure and follow Southside's official Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages using the links on screen now and in the description.
Football homecoming had the benefit of taking place in a nice, warm, outdoor environment, but basketball homecoming had to face this challenge in addition to standard COVID procedures. Here's Kathryn Wilson with the story. Kathryn?
Last semester, football homecoming took place outdoors where members of the court could be spread apart as much as needed. The first ceremony took place relatively normally in comparison to last year. However, student council had several things working against them whilst planning basketball homecoming.
Indoor capacity is the first concern for any event this year, and the below freezing temperatures ruled out any possibilities of an outdoor event. The student council decided to divide homecoming into two different groups, the pep rally and the ceremony itself.
So with basketball homecoming, the situation was really different because we couldn't be outside. So for football homecoming, being outside allowed us to do a lot more, allow more people to attend. We didn't have capacity issues like we did for basketball. For several weeks leading up to homecoming, student council officers met. So we have different committees that specialize for different components of homecoming. So we have a group planning the pep rally, which was held in the South Gym during the school day, but we had to make it virtual. So they planned the pep rally, and that took a whole committee to create. And then we had another committee that focused just on the homecoming ceremony and how that would work.
In order to make sure enough people were able to attend the ceremony, the students found it best to hold the crowning ceremony a day early. In a joint effort between administration, staff, and students, the homecoming ceremony was created.
That committee met with Coach Beaumont, and we went to the activity center and mapped out exactly how much room we had, where we could put the chairs. Like I said, Coach Beaumont was really instrumental in providing extra resources. We even recruited Ms. Burnett, our assistant principal, and used her balloon company that she does on the side, and her family even came, and Ms. Atwell helped set up balloons. We had a student who just happened to be around after school the day we were setting up the balloons who stayed for a couple of hours helping. It took all hands on deck to pull that off, and I was just really excited that it turned out so well.
Jenna Jones was crowned this year's homecoming queen and really liked the ceremony, citing that the game didn't take the spotlight away from the ceremony.
I think that it was a really good replacement. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it that way. I mean, obviously, without the social distancing and the masks, hopefully. But yeah, considering that I did it my sophomore year, I really liked the way that we did it this year. We did it the day before the game, so it was kind of its own ceremony, and we didn't have enough space at Ramsey to do it. And then the maids had to go on, and we had to stand really far apart. That was really, and we had to wear our masks the whole time, which kind of sucked. But we got to take our masks off for pictures whenever we stood in the middle. But I really liked that it was its own thing and that we didn't have it at the game. It felt really, really nice. I wasn't expecting it at all. It was really surprising, but it was really fun. I liked the way that they did it this year.
Despite all the restrictions, the basketball homecoming ceremony was received well thanks to the help from students and staff alike. For Math Media, I'm Kathryn Wilson.
Thank you, Kathryn.
And finally, we would like to take this time to recognize the diversity here on campus at Southside.
I honestly think Black History Month is important to me because it sheds a lot of light on the history that not necessarily everyone may or may not know about. And it's good to know that there are people who are African American who have contributed to where we are in this country now, finally getting some recognition.
As February is coming to a close, we reflect on the significance Black History Month has held this year. The purpose of Black History Month has been to highlight how African American achievements have shaped the nation, but to many of our students, it means so much more.
I think Black History Month is more to be just to recognize the people who have helped build America.
Black History Month is really important to me because I know what my ancestors and other people's ancestors have done for our freedom and our rights, so I really respect it, and I think it just lives on.
When we acknowledge specific groups who contribute to the growth and development of our country, we are simply saying that all people are equal and that we are striving to maintain a great America.
Why do I think Black History Month is so important? to me, it was all about the fighting and the believing and speaking into existence and dreaming about it. Because the people years back, my ancestors, they probably would never have thought that we would ever come this far to ever being able to vote, have freedom of speech, be able to drink water at the same fountain or eat at the same place, So for me, it's just all about why it's so important is because they did so much. They took bruises, hanging, killing, all of that, just for us to have equal rights. And so that's why I think this Black History Month is so important to me, because it all started from a dream and it came true.
The importance of diversity on campus cannot be understated. Words cannot describe the importance and necessity that is variety. Students being introduced to new ideas, a canvas of thoughts being painted by all different colors, and reflection.
We would like to say thank you to the administration for the steps they have been taking to recognize Black History Month on campus.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Mappy's Monthly.
Thank you for tuning in and sticking with us through our absence in January.
We still have several more broadcasts to come, so we'll see you next month. Thanks for watching.